Oh, good morning. I'm here this morning with Carl Bird at Coffee Republic. Where would we be without coffee, particularly at a time like this? Carl, this is about our town and your story. Tell us your story. How did you arrive in this business and your background?
Well, I used to work for a large corporation for about 25 years, and I was getting to the end of that career and sort of thought I wanted to make a change, and an opportunity came up in Eastbourne, and this was it. So I bought this business 13 years ago now, so I've been here a fair old time, and been running it and loving it ever since.
Well, tell us, you must love coffee.
Can't do without my coffee. Even on my days off, I come in and have a coffee.
What's your favourite coffee?
Oh, flat white, of course.
I'm a flat white man as well. Started in Australia, wasn't it? Australian.
Australia, yes, yeah, originally, yeah.
So, tell us, Carl, you, I understand, actually, from the very early stages of lockdown, were one of the first coffee shops to reopen,
Yeah.
takeaways. Tell us a bit about that experience and how that worked for you.
Yeah, well, it was, obviously it was a very traumatic time, those 3 months or so that we were all closed down, and as a business on the high street, obviously you've got very high rent and high charges here. We needed to get back up and running as soon as possible. As soon as we got the go-ahead, got the guys in, got set up, and we ran a takeaway operation, which was, again, very new for us, just doing takeaway only. So, but the advantage was we were the first people open, so we did all right out of it the first month.
A good period for you. So,
Yeah.
and tell me, at the end of that lockdown period, when you were reopening again to customers coming in, sitting, was there a very difference? You presumably had a lot of loyal customers returning.
Yeah, it kind of built over the first week. Initially it was quite quiet, and then we had a lot of regulars found out we were open, and we had a lot of regulars coming back in, sort of like gasping for a decent cup of coffee. So that was, it was a good feeling for us that the regulars were coming back and they were happy that we were open again. So.
And I know there's certainly a reputation was that everything was very safe and secure. It's clearly been a complete change of business methods for you, but how does that look now? And shortly, of course, we're learning as of today that Eastbourne is going to be tier 2 from the reopening, so you'll be welcoming people back in. How does it look inside Coffee Republic now in terms of your service offer?
Yeah, I think very much like after the initial lockdown, we reopened. It was very much COVID safe with the spacing and the distancing, and we had to sort of redesign our layout of tables and chairs and everything, just thinking about where people are going to be sitting and how that's going to be affecting how we have to have it all set up. And then going forward, we'll be back in the same position next week when we reopen. At the moment we're at tier 2, which is great news, which means we'll be able to have all our tables and chairs back out with seating outside, which is brilliant, because obviously outside seating means that people can be in slightly larger groups, mixed groups on the outside, so that gives us a little bit of a difference that they can do that.
Yeah, I think it's one of the great assets of yours is that you've got that outside area, isn't
Absolutely.
it? But if people don't want to sit in, then clearly you're still offering your takeaway service.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what does that look like for people who would say, no, I'd rather have a takeaway or delivery? How does that work?
Well, takeaway, as we've always done, the takeaway service is there. Just come up to the counter, order it, and take it away. No change there. We're also doing takeaway on Just Eat now, which we've recently moved into to try that, and that's going reasonably well at the moment. It's building, so every week gets a little bit busier. So it gives people the option of what they want to do, and they can certainly get it from here.
You're an employer as well, of course. You've got people whose
Absolutely.
families and their own jobs depend on you.
Yeah.
How does that feel? And how many people do you actually employ, Carl, in the shop?
Well, we've got five full-timers here. We haven't got any part-timers at the moment, but obviously going into if things go well, then in December we'll bring in a part-time as well to sort of top up on the busier nights. I've got a full-time manager whose partner actually works here as well. So they kind of mix their shifts around, and they've got a young child, and his partner was the manager 3 years ago, so she kind of swapped roles with him, and he's moved up to the manager role, so that's quite nice. It's kind of a bit of a family, and she's been with us for 11 years now, so she's been part of the Coffee Republic family for a long time, so we tend to like sort of keep people for quite a long time, and making sure that they've got some income coming in has been great, and the furlough scheme certainly helped that when it was quieter, but we brought everyone back as soon as we could, so from the 1st of August we've had everyone back up until this recent lockdown, so that's been good.
And you talked about the family. I mean, clearly Coffee Republic is a well-known brand, but it is run locally in franchisees like you in many instances.
Yeah, absolutely. And I try and think of it as a local shop, not as a national company. It's not a huge franchise, but we run them very locally, and I'm in here all the time. I know all my customers, and customers all know me. And, like I said, some of them I've known sort of over 10 years here, so they all come in, they know what they want. We chat, we know each other's history and what they're about.
So they smile at the door and the coffee's on by the time they get to the counter.
Absolutely, yeah.
And clearly that is so important at the moment. We know the importance of the high street and shopping centre. So what would be your message to people out there about supporting their local high street?
Well, I think as with all high streets, it's important that the local people remember that their local town is kind of where they're going to be going out with their kids. They're going to be walking and spending their time. So they want to be able to go into a town that's got a wide range of local businesses operating, whether they're independents, multiples, or whatever. It's all part of the recipe that makes the Eastbourne a perfect location for local shopping. But it's only going to work if people remember to come here and shop in the town.
I know already we're seeing the town lit up in a great way. The Christmas lights are all up.
Absolutely.
Shortly, of course, we'll have the market, which will be down this stretch of Terminus Road, quite close. You must be looking forward to that.
Absolutely, yeah. We can't wait for the town to reopen. The Christmas lights are already up, which look just fantastic when they're all illuminated. And we've got the Elf radio coming, and we've got the market coming the week before Christmas, which we're very excited about. And we're going to be putting a hot chocolate stand out the front as well to get engaged with that market, and just want people to come down and enjoy it.
So I hear on the Santa hotline that the elves are actually going to be based here. Is that true?
Yeah, Elf radio is going to be running out of the shop, so we're sort of like going to be turning it on and each day and keeping it running. So yeah,
you can have a bunch of elves who are high on caffeine there.
Absolutely, yeah, we'll keep them going.
And Carl, if you had a Christmas wish, what would it be?
Wow. So I guess what would be great for everyone in the town is if just every person who lived in Eastbourne just visited, even if it's just once, to come down to the town, spend some money in the town. That would be great.
And enjoy fabulous coffee.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Carl Bird.
You're welcome.